Okay, I don't know if y'all came from my TikTok that I posted, but I want to talk to y'all about, like, underground bunkers and having the supplies for that in the case of apocalyptic situation and stuff like that. Because like I've said before in the past, the media is never, like, they never actually truly talk to you about something serious. Like, they'll say, oh, feed the African children so that way we can stop world hunger. No matter how much food you put, you will never stop world hunger. Why? Because not all of Africa is poor. These dumbasses are trying to make Africa look so bad. They're trying to make Africa look poor. Now, if you look at any country, literally any country, you'll see the poor side and you'll see the rich side. There's never a country that's only poor. This is bullshit. This is propaganda. You know what I mean? Now, anyways, back to what I was saying. Because, oh wait, by the way, because if you look up Cape Town, Africa, it is the richest place in Africa, and it is so beautiful. Now, like I was saying, about the apocalyptic situation, if you are going to be, in an underground bunker, you don't want to buy the $150, like, what's it called, emergency supplies, this right here. You don't want to buy it. One, it has preservatives. Two, it's been severely processed. 3, it's overpriced. 4, it's not worth the money. You don't get that much. You don't get that much in it. It's not worth the money. Okay? Instead, what you can buy for $150 is a shit ton of can of food. And yes, you can have a lot. Like, you see how tall I am? You could probably buy an entire wall of canned foods with just $150. Hell, if you wanted to, you can get noodles and cook it. And you might be saying, well, how am I going to cook it? That's where my point comes in. Okay? Now, we're not going to cook with gas. Because as much as gas would be nice to have, you're underground, so it wouldn't be good to have. Now, in, like, outside, of course it would be good to have. But the reason why it's not good to have in your bunker is, 1, the fumes in the air from the gas will cause you to die. And 2, if you're not dead yet and you try to cook another thing, you're going to set the entire room on fire and kill everybody with you. And you don't want that. You obviously don't want that. Instead, what you want is you want to light a fire with, like, Kindle or paper, use an igniter to spark stuff, and that's what you want. Because as much as it's going to produce the carbon monoxide in the air, I'm going to talk to you about how you can get rid of the carbon monoxide in the air. So therefore, you can continue cooking and cooking and cooking without any problem. You know what I mean? Now, hold on. I have to make another video to add on to this. Okay, back to what I was saying. Now, for getting rid of the carbon monoxide in the air, you're going to want these plants I put on screen. A lot of these are, have been studied by NASA, and you can look this up. There's a lot of sources about some of these plants by NASA, and if not NASA, some of them by different sources. Now, most of these are actually good for producing oxygen and getting rid of the carbon monoxide in the air. And so, with that being, it's really, really good, because you can cook, like, however much you want. You just need to be careful because, obviously, carbon monoxide in the air, of course, right? But still, it'll get rid of the, carbon monoxide in the air. You can even build, your own ecosystem inside of a bottle. I think you might have seen those videos before. So that's what I'm talking about. You can create your own ecosystem inside of a bunker. You don't need, like, all this fancy shit. You know what I mean? Now, like, with other things like canned foods, you can eat it cold, raw, frozen, hot. You can cook it like that. If you want to, matter of fact, you can even, like, do this. You can, what's it called? You can put ramen noodle in a bowl and just wait for it to, get, like, soft with cold water. It does work, but it does take a lot longer. Now, that's like if you don't want to start a fire, which it would be a good idea to not start a fire indoors because, especially whenever you're inside of a bunker, you might set the entire place on fire. You gotta make sure that whatever it's built out of isn't flammable. Like, for example, like porcelain. What is the word? Porcelain? Porcelain? I don't know. The outside of the bunker, if it was built out of that, it would take impact with, like, whatever's outside. So that is a good reason to have your base built out of porcelain at the outside and a lot of other materials. But, like, you don't want it to be flammable because, obviously, you won't be able to cook in there. Now, these plants are also good to just have indoors. They're really good because think about it for yourself. Like I've said before in the past, it's not good to breathe in the inside air. No matter if you have an AC, it doesn't smell good. Like it smells good, but it doesn't feel good to breathe in. That's why I go outside. Now, that would be a perfect reason, especially because the more oxygen you have, the more easier it is for you to sleep. Me personally, I have a lot of sleeping issues, huh? But yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like, this is why, like, what I'm saying is way more better than what they're telling you. Like I said, propaganda, propaganda, propaganda. Don't listen to them. Canned foods, the plants, igniter, Kindle, and maybe some sleeping bags, because that's all you need. Boom.